Welcome back, everybody. We're here today, brand new Cabral concept. This is episode 2782 of the show. Looking forward to getting into our Mindset and Motivation Monday. Today's topic is why setting and achieving your biggest goals are inevitable. I just got done teaching this specific module within High Performance Health. High Performance Health, we go into all of the different HPH protocols in order to help people live past 100 healthily. Advanced, it's amazing, love being able to teach that, but part of it, and towards the end of our teaching, I want people to understand that none of this is possible without the mindset and the belief of making it happen. And one of the ways that we were able to actually do the things that we need to do in order to get to the place that we need to be in order to live to 100 or live healthy in general is to set goals. But many people don't set goals for fear that they may not come true, and that they're simply going to be disappointed yet once again as to why their life has not turned out to be what they wish that it was, that they hoped that it was many years ago. I'm here to share with you today that at any point you can decide to start anew, that you're not even necessarily starting over again because you have all of the knowledge from your past achievements as well as failures that have given you all of the different things to do again and also not to do in order to make your dreams, hopes, and everything that you set for yourself in life come true. So what I want you to think about right now is what one goal would you love to achieve that if it was to be achieved, your life would be monumentally better? That you'd maybe have the finances you want, the health you want, the body transformation that you want, the relationship you want, the spirituality you want, whatever it is. Think of one to start. Because what I want to share with you is that over the next 12 months, it would be almost unimaginable by the time we're done with this show here today, that you don't believe that you'll be able to achieve that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an example of, let's say, becoming a health coach and let's say working on a health-based issue. So what I want to share with you today is there's many people out there, many people who have high blood pressure. And if you have high blood pressure and you go to your conventional medicine doctor, your PCP, and they say, okay, you have high blood pressure, your blood pressure's 140 over 90, and we need to put you on these specific medications in order to lower your blood pressure. Okay, so that's what conventional medicine does. But let's say you don't want to just mask the symptoms and you want to figure out what the true underlying root causes are of your high blood pressure. Makes sense to me, right? So if you're one of those people and you don't want then that inflammatory response that's affecting your blood pressure right now to show up as type 2 diabetes in the future, high cholesterol in the future because you're simply masking the blood pressure right now. Yeah, you artificially push it down with medication, but that's certainly not going to make you feel good and certainly not going to help you in the long term. So you say, I want to figure out how to fix my low blood pressure, my high blood pressure, but I have no idea how. I'm here to tell you all you need to do is start with the I want to achieve X, fill in your goal. It is in today's day and age, it would be nearly impossible now not to be able to accomplish that goal in 12 months if you really set yourself to it. Now, I have many shows in the 12-week year. I'm not going to break that down here today. But what you're going to do on a goal like high blood pressure is you're going to start with this. Has anyone else ever accomplished this goal in the history of the world, which would be lowering high blood pressure naturally? The answer is absolutely. Now, you may not know those people, but you can certainly do a quick search and find people that have lowered their blood pressure naturally, right? So then the next step is, okay, this is actually a possibility. People have lowered their high blood pressure naturally before. How did they do that? That's the next step. And that's the information gathering. This is what will extend the process or shorten the process, right? Because at this point, you can do a couple things. You can take a course and accelerate your, understanding of blood pressure and how it gets elevated, right? You could take a high blood pressure course. I'm sure there's one out there, right? You could read a book on how to lower high blood pressure naturally. Okay, that's great too. Or you could hire a health coach, like the health coach I'm about to talk about in just a moment, that would give you the exact plan as to how to lower it. One that would maybe be customized for you. All of them work. What I would say is this. It might take you a month to read a book or two on high blood pressure and then begin to implement the protocols from the book, right? Might take you 2 or 3 days to do a course on high blood pressure. Would take you about 90 minutes, 1 hour to 90 minutes of talking with a coach to begin to implement the process, right? But not everybody can afford the coach, and I understand that. But that to me does not matter, because you can absolutely rent a book, right, at a library on how to lower your blood pressure naturally. You can purchase a book for $12 on Amazon to potentially, help you with this specific thing. Or again, the course might be a little bit more expensive. I don't know, what the course may cost. But the thing is, first, you find out it is possible. It's possible. Second, how do people do it? Okay, here are the books. Here are the coaches. Here are the courses in order to be able to learn how to lower that blood pressure. Fantastic. Now there's the implementation. So let's say you take 4 weeks, right? So 1 month is gone. You took a long time to go through all those things. All right, no problem. So it's no big deal. So now we have 11 months. You have 11 full months to begin to implement protocols to lower high blood pressure. I've talked about this before, but there's only so many things that can be wrong with a human being based on their specific condition. So I've talked about there's different things that go wrong for low thyroid. There's different things that go wrong for high cortisol. There's different things that go wrong for type 2 diabetes. And there's different things that go wrong for cholesterol, high blood pressure, et cetera. Okay, so high blood pressure, you're just going to work the process. Now, it could be hardening of the arteries. Okay, so we need to do our job in order to be able to decalcify those arteries. It can be done. Okay. Next thing, you might have elevated levels of cortisol. Okay. We work on elevated levels of cortisol. You might have higher levels of sodium to potassium. Okay. So we rebalance potassium to sodium levels. You might have elevated levels of calcium to magnesium. Okay. So we bring the magnesium levels back up. Like there can be all these different things that you're working on. And let's say though, you work the slowest way possible and you only do 1 a month. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. So there aren't more than really 8 to 10 for high blood pressure. So no matter what, then over that 8 to 10 months, let's say you didn't know what your specific one but you're going to do them all and you're going to implement them only 1 month at a time instead of doing them all at once. Okay. So then you take that time and you do 1 a month over the next 10 months to implement them. So now you've 1 month to learn, 10 months to implement, you're at 11 months. So you've accomplished your goal the slowest way possible within 12 months. You did it a month ahead of time, right? Now, you can shortcut that. You can always shortcut it by finding an expert in the field. It does cost money, so I do understand that part to it, but it can be done, right? So for me, I read thousands of books, and I still didn't get well. Literally thousands of books. Now, I don't know what that says about me, but I read thousands of books and still couldn't fully heal. Okay, went to lots of practitioners. They did help. They absolutely shortened the curve. Went to a practitioner, my eventual mentor, Dr. Pete, and it wasn't that all the information I didn't learn before that wasn't helpful. It was. I don't know that I would have actually listened to or healed with Dr. Pete if I hadn't gone through that. So there is that part to it. But I went to her, and within 6 months, I was better. Because when you find the right information that's custom tailored to you, it goes that much faster. Let me give you an example. So you have high blood pressure. Okay. So you know that it could be imbalance of calcium, magnesium, imbalance of sodium, potassium, elevated levels of cortisol, some hardening of the arteries, stenosis of the arteries. It could be poor sleep. It could be lots of inflammatory issues like heavy metals. All right. So we work on all these things. How do we find them? Well, we can run a lab test, at-home lab test, get like the big 5, get the results back within 4 weeks. So now 1 month's gone by, 2 months gone by. You might say, well, I'm wasting another month. Yeah, but now you have a custom tailored plan. You found that you had these 3 things: elevated levels of cortisol, elevated levels of sodium to potassium, and you had high levels of omega-6s to omega-3s. Those were your 3 imbalances, none of the others. So now you went to work right away on the cortisol, the potassium, and the cortisol, potassium, and what else was the other one that I said? Omega-6s. So now you fixed with enhancing omega-3s, rebalanced sodium, potassium, and fixing cortisol. So now you have a plan that's custom tailored to you, and now you work on those, you implement them over the next 12 weeks, and in 12 weeks now you've re-regulated your blood pressure. So now it took you 5 months instead of 11, less than half the time. because you had a custom tailored plan. But no matter what, you still would have achieved it. That's why I want to share with people, because the excuse can always be, well, I can't hire the practitioner, integrative health practitioner. I can't hire the doctor. I can't hire the whatever for health. I get it. I understand. But it's the same thing like with like dating, relationships. Like people can coach you the right way to do it, but you can still learn it on your own. Like you can still read it. You can still make it happen. Back in the day, I didn't have the accessibility to courses. Again, this is in the mid-90s. The sharing of information wasn't the same. I would have been able to figure things out a whole lot faster. I was motivated, and that's a big part of this. You need to be motivated and all in. You need to be in it to win it in order to achieve big goals. Lowering your blood pressure is a big goal. Like you need to do that for a long, healthy life so you can see, yourself accomplish what you want to accomplish in this life. And you can see, if you have children, see your kids grow up, your grandkids grow up. It's super important that you figure out high blood pressure. Okay, and that can go for any dis-ease of the body. Now, another one might be career-wise. Again, I just work in the health-based realm, but we have about 4,500 or more, 5,000 integrative health practitioners, right? Like I have nothing to do with these IHPs except I train them. I teach them how to do what we do so they can help more people around the world. Maximum back in the day, I did about 2,000 hours a year of working with wellness clients, right? So that's a lot, still a lot. I'm not saying it's not. But when I brought on a team, we did 20,000 appointments a year, 10 times what I was doing, okay? I did 2,000. I brought on a team, we did 20,000. We affect a lot more change in the world, okay? Now, what happens if we bring on 5,000? Again, these are not they're not my business. I have nothing to do with them, but I'm trying to teach so we can help more people. We bring on 5,000 practitioners. Now, let's just say they're not doing 2,000, but they're doing, let's say, even 500 hours a year, appointment-wise. That is now 2.5 million appointments reached per year. So you can see how this is exponential-based growth, and that's obviously, that's the whole point. You can reach way more people, okay? My team and I, we do 20,000. All of the IHPs, 2.5 million. Like it's not even the same ballpark, right? So that's how the numbers begin to really make a difference. Okay, so a lot of people come and they want to become a health coach. Great. So we can teach them how to do that, right? We can teach them the knowledge, the at-home lab testing, etc. But then the thing is they still have to create the career, right? They still have to do that. They still have to get out there. But let's say at the very least that you set a goal for yourself. Do you think it would take more than a year to get your business up and running if you worked on it every day? I would say that's hard to believe it would take you any more than that. Again, even if you only gave it an hour or two a day. So think about it this way. You wake up and you spend an hour on it in the morning before anybody's awake and maybe an hour before bed. Okay, that's the time you have to do it. Great. Well, think about it this way. What are you going to do? How are you going to figure it out? Okay. Has anyone else ever become a certified health coach? The answer, of course, is yes, just like other people have lowered their blood pressure. Okay. So the next is, how did they become a certified health coach? Okay. Well, you got your certification already, so you're good. How did you build then a health coaching business? And you would just do what? You would read the books, right? You would take the course on building a health coaching business, or you would hire the direct coach to help you build your business customized for you faster. And it's the same exact process. And with each one of those, you just have more accountability. So when you work with a coach, you're going to follow up with them once a week, right? Are you on track? Have you done these things? Share with me what you've done so far, right? Just like a health coach. You'll add now maybe a business coach. Okay. What's the next part? If you were taking a course, you have no one to hold you accountable to, but maybe there's a Facebook group, okay? So maybe you're connecting with people from around the world in the same position as you, and you're going to hold each other accountable. Fantastic. If you're reading a book, you need to hold yourself accountable, but certainly you can begin to implement the steps. You can do what? So sign up for a social media account. You can do what? Start your own website, right? You can build a website. Then, and you can hire someone to do it, or you can do it. Then what do you do? Okay, create an online scheduler. Then what do you do? Offer your services to people, especially families and friends in the beginning, and they might, they pay for their own labs, but you offer their consultation complimentary, and you begin to get your feet wet working with them. Great, now you're building confidence. Then after that, you're gonna offer a complimentary consultation to maybe 5 people a week or so online. So you start to work with some people, see if they're right fit for you, and you work through the process. So it would be hard to imagine that week 1, you take the course, or month 1, take the course, read the book, work with a mentor. After that, month 2, begin to implement. Start to get on social media. Spend 30 minutes a day just interacting, putting up a short post, an image, a repost, whatever it is. Then in the background, you start to work on your website. You're going to build it yourself through any of these website builders, or you're going to hire someone to build that. Okay. Now we're 2 months, maybe 3 months in the process. You've already worked with some family friends. Okay. Now you're going to start to work with your first complimentary consultations. And in the beginning, maybe you do poorly. No big deal, right? Like, okay, anything that we want to do well, we can do poorly in the beginning, but you're genuinely trying to help people. Okay. And you kind of stumble through that, we'll say, for the next 2 to 3 months. Now you're 6 months in. You have 6 months of experience now. And now for the next 6 months, you're slowly but surely starting to build up your clientele. And let's say you only begin to work with one new person a week. No problem. So that's 4 people for the month. And then you get another 4 people the next month, right? Month 7. So now you're up to how many people? 8. And then another person a week for the next month. Now you're up to 12. And what about the next month after that? You're up to what? 16 people. Great. That's typically when your package would end, maybe working with them once a month. Maybe not, but then you're also then getting referrals. And each person, some people would refer 6 people to you. Some people only refer 1 or 0. On average, you might get 1 referral per client you work with. So now those 16 people over the course of 4 months become 32 people, right? And so like this is literally how it works. So now by the end of the year, you've worked with at least, let's say your first 50 clients, somewhere between, let's say 32 and 50 clients. Great. So now you actually have a real health coaching business that you're still only doing part-time. Well, guess what? You've done it. You've already made the, impossible you thought possible. Literally inevitable. Then what happens in year 2 when you've worked with 50 clients? You start working with those people again. You're fine-tuning their programs. You're working with them on new goals, sleep optimization, healthy biohacking, longevity, high-performance health, etc. And you might meet with them once a quarter. Great. But then all of those people, again, even the new clients, they're referring you what? Friends, family. And then you're also still continuing to get the one new person online from your social media-based posts. And this is the slowest possible rate that you could possibly go. And then by the end of month 2, or I should say by the end of month 3, you might have 200 to 300 new clients. Do you see how like literally your success is inevitable even if you only move at a pace of 1 new client per week? So what I want you to do is that this can happen with any goal. I'm not the relationship or dating-based, advice, coaching-based mentor. But I can tell you this, that if you find out the framework of becoming a better listener, becoming a better person to go out on a date with, etc. Listener, active listener, coming up with, more, I would say, intellectual-based topics to talk about, really understanding the other individual, thinking of their needs, planning great dates, advice that a great dating coach may give you, you will be able to work the process. You'll be able to go on more dates more often. Continue to fine-tune you as a human being, learn more about you, and begin then to find that right person for you as well. You can take that to any area of your life. It would be almost impossible if you set a goal, I need to gain 20 pounds. Okay. Set a goal of gaining literally a half a pound a week, right? Like that could be your goal over the course of a year. Your goal then, on the other hand, let's say, is to lose 50 pounds. You're setting a goal then of losing just 1 pound per week. And these things are all very, very achievable. So what I want to share with you is this. Instead of believing that you can achieve your goals, that you've never been able to achieve them, think of it as this. It's literally inevitable. No matter what goal you come up with yourself, on a long enough time horizon, anything is possible. And if 12 months isn't enough time, give yourself a little bit more time if that's what you need. But what you can't say is that it's not possible, because your first question is, has anybody ever achieved this? Has anybody ever found the right person for them in life? Of course. Has anybody lost 300 pounds? Of course. Has anybody ever gained 50 pounds when they needed to gain 50 pounds? Of course. Has anybody ever overcome high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular issues, Alzheimer's, even cancer? The answer is yes. Okay. Has anyone ever been able to find more connectedness, purpose, spirituality, love, peace of mind in their life? The answer is yes. You can do this for any topic. So whatever your topic is, the first question is, has it ever been done? Okay, find an example. Great. Now you know. Is there a book written on it? Is there a course? Is there a coach? Choose one. Begin to work the process and then implement that. And again, over a long enough time horizon, which a year is plenty of time, I have no doubt in my mind that people would be able to can and will achieve most of their goals in a 3 to 6 month framework by using the 12-week year. I'll link up to that today at stephencabral.com/2782. I have lots of free podcasts on this, but when you start to think of your goal as inevitable, it takes away the fear if you'll ever achieve it or not. And instead, it puts you in a position of feeling like you're more in control. And also, it's more relaxed control. When you know you're going to achieve it, it's already been done. And now you're simply going through the steps in order to accomplish that which you've set out for yourself. Hopefully today's show was helpful. I like to be able to give you direct, actionable advice, things that I've used in my own life. I hope that it's helpful for you. Do feel free to implement it. Let me know what you're going to work on in the comments below. Share the show with anyone you feel it could serve. Take care, everybody. Have an amazing rest of the day. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything. Functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.